Hey guys, Woody the Unexceptional Gamer. Got a late start here, the other team's all set up. I think the gameplay is engaging. It's my first game back after my trip to Joe Lozon's and I'm a little rusty. But you can be the judge for yourself. Anyway, I'm here to talk about Xbox and PS4, games and gamers. Here we go! So the rumor is, the legend, the lore, that at the conclusion of E3, when the Xbox One had been revealed and the PS4 had been revealed, that a Sony developer came up to a Microsoft executive and said, hey, it looks like you won the games and we won the gamers. And I thought, like that's kind of interesting and it's kind of insightful. And the purpose of this video is to take a closer look at that. Take a look at the exclusives coming out for the Xbox One versus the PS4 and see if that's true, that the Xbox One actually won the games. What's definitely true is the PS4 won the gamers. I feel like I've got my finger on the pulse of the gaming community. I'm a member of it, and there's just no doubt. It seems like, I'll make up numbers, it's like a 3-to-1 excitement ratio, like 75-25 in terms of who's excited for the PS4 versus who's excited for the Xbox One. That much is without a doubt. Sony, they won the gamers. But did Xbox One win the games? Let's take a closer look, and I'll talk about what's coming out, what I'm excited about, what I'm not excited about, and here we go. First on my list for Xbox One is Halo 5. I was about to say fail. Like, that to me seems too extreme. But are gamers still excited about Halo? Does anyone else feel like that's... look, it was a great franchise. It had its run. It was fantastic. But, Halo 5 to me is kind of like the PlayStation's Killzone. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that, like, when it comes to excitement, the things that I can't wait to get my hands on for next year, I'm not looking at sequels really so much, with the possible exception of COD, but I'll talk about that later. But, I don't know. With regards to exclusives, if we're talking about sequels and things that have had their run, Halo 5 is not the thing that really gets me jazzed, and neither is Killzone or any of the other sequels that are out there. So far, so good, even, nice, unbiased, but that ends here, because now comes Titanfall. Titanfall is the game that I'm probably most excited for next year. Sadly, it drops in the spring, and who knows if it'll get delayed, but Titanfall, like, that's awesome to me. And some will argue that it's not an exclusive because it comes out for the PC also. So if you're a guy with a PS4 and you have a gaming PC, then you're sitting pretty. Like, you get, in my mind, the most exciting exclusive in addition to a PS4, which is probably the better piece of gaming hardware. That's what it looks like right now. But in terms of, who won the games, dude, Titanfall's a killer. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if it lives up to the hype, but I'm excited about it. On the PS4 side, to compete with Titanfall, comes The Order 1886. This game looks pretty cool. I think it's one of the most hyped PS4 titles, but this is maybe my own bias. Maybe this won't apply to your own personal pros and cons, but I'm not huge on third-person shooters. I much prefer a first-person shooter. That over-the-shoulder look thing, it's just not my cup of tea. Maybe you love it. Maybe you have no preference. But The Order 1886, it kind of seems Bioshock-like, in that it's like an alternative world. You have like zeppelins and monorails and skyscrapers, and the graphics I've seen so far just are, to me, are reminiscent of Bioshock. I know a lot of people, whenever I compare games, they get really upset. They say these games have nothing in common. But to me, games are a common language that we all speak, and I like this notion of comparing games, but maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Anyway, The Order 1886 is kind of exciting. It's kind of Bioshock-like, which to me was one of the better Xbox exclusives. But if you call it that, I think it's on PC too. But it's I don't know. It's not Titanfall. I'm not quite as excited about it as Titanfall. Next up on the Xbox One side, like a game that I'm psyched about, is Ryse. It's spelled R-Y-S-E, and again, I'm fully expecting to get blasted on game comparisons. But Ryse, to me, I have this notion that the gameplay, the combat, is going to be God of War-ish, but less epic, right? Because God of War, it's God of War-ish in my head in that you're dealing with like spears, and you're dealing with swords and spears and stuff like that. It's like a Roman times kind of shooter, but in God of War, you're fighting like gigantic, lava monsters and things like that. Whereas this is more Spartacus-like. So while the combat might have things in common with it, the enemies definitely don't. You're, I guess, just a badass fighting other soldiers as opposed to like a crazy Superman like Kratos is. But anyway, yeah, so Ryse is the next Xbox game, and I feel like it's a legit AAA awesome title. Next up for the PS4 side is Infamous Second Son. Infamous was a good game. I like it got critical acclaim. People liked it. It released at the same time as Prototype, which to me, like, I always kind of compared them. Which one am I going to get? Which one am I going to play? And I don't know. It's like I have nothing negative to say about the game, but I'm also not really excited for its arrival. I'm not like, oh my god, I can't wait for Infamous to come. I feel like it's a game. Maybe it's just its sequelness. I don't know. It had this. Basically, you're a guy that runs around with electrical powers, and you jump and climb buildings, and you're a superhero, and it's cool. But like, are you excited about Infamous? Like, is that a reason to buy a console? You can tell me. I don't know. But, yeah. I guess I just feel like compared to original titles like Ryse, it's, it's been there, done that. I don't know. I liked Uncharted, but I'm not all excited about Uncharted 4. It was a great game, but yeah, I loved Left 4 Dead. People who watch my channel know that. But it's not like I'm chomping at the bit for Left 4 Dead 4. No, it'd be 3, I guess. Yeah, Left 4 Dead 3. I played it twice already. It was good. What else you got? All right, with that in mind, next up, Sunset Overdrive. If you haven't checked out the trailer for Sunset Overdrive yet, go check it out. By the way, I have no connection to any of these games in terms of like sponsorships. But Sunset Overdrive, it looks like a multiplayer Assassin's Creed mixed with Gotham City, like in terms of silliness and stuff. Like imagine Assassin's Creed but multiplayer, epic, where your KD ratio is 1,000 and you're the biggest badass that's ever lived, and that looks cool. That to me is open world done really well. Like kind of like maybe Grand Theft Auto multiplayer ish, maybe kind of, but yeah, that's it. Like there are a couple of games. There's really only 3 that like to me are. There's a lot of games out there that I'll play and that I'll check out and etc. I play more than you guys know. But in terms of like, oh my gosh, I have to have it, it's like Sunset Overdrive, Titanfall, and Ryse. I almost forgot the third one. They're the ones that really make me like, oh, I can't, I really want to have this. Games like Knack on the PS4, yeah, it's just not really exciting for me. I beat Little Big Planet. I like the game, but it wasn't like I didn't quite get why everyone was so excited about Little Big Planet in the same way that I don't get why everyone is this excited about Knack. Maybe it's your type of game. That's awesome. But it's not really my cup of tea. So when I look at the exclusives, when I try to figure out, like, who won the gamers and who won the games, I feel like that Sony developer was right. That, without a doubt, Sony won the gamers. That's what everyone's excited. That the PS4 is the hardware platform that everyone's jazzed about. But who won the games? I feel like Microsoft won the games. And I know some of those are like semi in-house, like Ryse. But when I look at what's coming, let me know what you think, and hopefully you're somewhat polite about it. But leave a comment and say, this is the game that I'm totally excited about. Oh, and I forgot to mention Call of Duty. In terms of sequels, to me, it's the only one that I'm excited about next year. I'm a big COD player. People who watch my channel know this. And the fact that it comes a month early on Xbox is still relevant to me. Like that's a feather in its cap. It's not the only thing, and I'll be getting both if you guys are wondering. I'll get both consoles. But, yeah, in terms of sequels, having COD a month early still counts for something. Not the release date, but all the DLC. And yeah, I think Microsoft won the games and Sony won the gamers. And in the long term, by the way, if all the gamers are on the PlayStation, then they are surely going to win the games too, because no one's going to want to develop for the platform that doesn't have the people who buy stuff. But out of the gate, that's what it looks like to me. You can tell me what you think. Bye.